Hi dear, welcome back to Quick Fix English. Today, I want to start with something gentle, something honest. You're not lazy, you're not behind, you're not broken, you're just tired of trying to be perfect, and I want you to know that's okay. So many learners come here carrying invisible pressure to speak without mistakes, to understand everything, to get it right the first time. But what if I told you the goal isn't perfection, it's progress? Real, human, shaky, sometimes slow progress. That's what we'll talk about today. Let me tell you about Luis. Luis was from Brazil. He loved English, loved how the words sounded, how music and movies carried emotion he couldn't always translate. But in school, he never spoke. Why? Because he didn't want to get it wrong. I'll speak when I'm fluent, he said, but fluency doesn't arrive like a gift at your door. It grows through use, through courage, through trying. And waiting for perfection, that's how you stay silent forever. One day, Luis changed something small. Instead of trying to say everything perfectly, he chose one sentence, just one, every day. He'd say it out loud. I want to improve my English. At first, it felt silly, too simple, but day by day, he added more. One sentence turned into two, then three. He started texting a friend in English, writing short posts online, asking questions in class. And slowly, he saw something surprising. His progress wasn't perfect, but it was real. And real progress, it builds confidence, not fear. We live in a world that celebrates big wins, but I want to celebrate tiny victories with you, like saying hello first, watching a video without subtitles, speaking even when you're unsure. Because those small wins, they're the bricks that build fluency. So, today, I want you to whisper this to yourself. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep going. Say it again, gently, like you mean it, because this journey isn't a test. It's a relationship with yourself. And the more patient, kind, and consistent you are, the more powerful that relationship becomes. In the next part, we'll talk about why perfectionism hides behind fear and how you can start building a healthier mindset for learning. But for now, just breathe, smile, and celebrate one thing you did today that moved you forward. Even if it was just pressing play, that's progress, and it matters. Let's talk about where perfectionism really comes from, because it doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It grows quietly inside us, from the way we were corrected as children, from the fear of being laughed at, from the moment someone told us we weren't good enough. Maybe you heard things like, say it properly, don't make mistakes, people will laugh if you get it wrong. And so, without meaning to, you started to believe if I'm not perfect, I shouldn't speak. But friend, that belief, it's a lie. Perfectionism is not protection, it's a prison. It locks you out of connection, out of growth, out of joy, and most importantly, it keeps you away from yourself. Let me share a story. Fatou is from Senegal. She's brilliant, curious, kind, but for years, she refused to speak English even though she understood it well. She said, I'm afraid people will notice my accent. I asked her gently, and if they do, she blinked. They'll think I'm stupid. It hurt to hear that, because it wasn't true, but it was real inside her. So we worked on something deeper than vocabulary. We worked on permission, I said. What if your accent is not a weakness, but a gift? What if every time you speak, you are not showing your flaws, but your bravery? At first, she laughed. Then she cried, because she had never seen her voice as beautiful, only broken, but slowly, her thinking began to change. She started recording voice notes, short ones. Hi, my name is Fatou. I'm learning English, and I'm proud of that. I am not perfect, but I am trying. She listened back. Her voice was soft, strong, real, and over time, she began to believe progress is not about doing it right, it's about doing it at all. That shift, it set her free. So I ask you now, what old belief is holding you back? What voice in your mind says you're not ready yet? Can you talk to that voice not with anger but with compassion? Can you say, I know you're scared, but I'm not going to wait anymore. I deserve to speak now. Because you do. Perfectionism whispers, you'll be enough when progress says you're enough already. Let's begin. In our next part, we'll look at how to build daily habits that make progress feel easier so you don't burn out trying to be perfect all the time. But for now, please remember this. Your worth does not depend on your grammar. You are not a mistake. You are a miracle in motion, and I'm proud of you for being here. Let's talk about something powerful, your daily rhythm. Because the truth is, progress is not about motivation, it's about habits. Tiny, loving, repeatable habits. The kind that fit into your real life. The kind that don't exhaust you. The kind that feel like care, not punishment. Let me tell you about Amir. Amir was from Egypt. He worked long hours and barely had time to study English. He felt guilty every night when he couldn't finish a full lesson. He thought, if I can't give 100%, why bother? That thinking, it kept him stuck. Until one day, we tried something new. I asked him, can you give me just 2 minutes a day? He blinked. That's all. Yes, but it has to be every day. He agreed. Every morning, before brushing his teeth, Amir read one sentence out loud. Just one. He chose something true. I'm learning. I'm allowed to grow slowly. I don't need to impress anyone. I just need to try. 2 minutes. That's it. But here's what happened. 2 minutes turned into 5. He started noticing English around him in signs, songs, subtitles. He stopped avoiding conversations and started joining them. Not because he had more time, but because he had less fear, and fear fades when kindness grows. So if you feel stuck, I want you to ask, what's something small I can do every day that feels gentle? Maybe it's reading one paragraph. Maybe it's writing one new word in a notebook. Maybe it's listening to a podcast while you cook. The key isn't size, it's consistency and self-respect, because when you show up for yourself again and again, in small ways, you build trust. And trust, that's what makes you feel safe enough to grow. So today, make a promise to yourself, not to be perfect, but to be present. Pick one thing, make it tiny, make it yours, and most importantly, make it kind, because kindness fuels commitment, and commitment leads to confidence. In the next part, we'll explore what to do when comparison creeps in, when you see others improving faster and feel like you're not enough. But right now, just smile at yourself. You showed up today, and that's more than enough. Let's talk about comparison, because no matter how kind we try to be to ourselves, there are days when we scroll through social media, hear someone speak fluently, or see others succeeding, and we shrink. We think, why am I still struggling? Why does it come so easy to them? What's wrong with me? But let me tell you something gently. Comparison is not the truth. It's a trick your mind plays when it forgets your story. Let me share a story about Eli. Eli was from South Korea. She had been learning English for years, but every time she watched YouTube or joined an English club, she would freeze. They all speak so naturally, she said. And I sound like a robot. I asked her, do you know how long they've been practicing? She shook her head. I said, you're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel. That changed everything. Because here's the truth. You don't know how many mistakes they made. You don't see their fears, their late nights, their tears. You only see the moment they shine. And you, yes, you are also shining, just in quieter ways. When you choose to keep learning, when you say one brave sentence, when you forgive yourself after a bad day, that's growth. And it's just as beautiful even if the world doesn't clap for it. So how do we stop the comparison? Not by pretending it doesn't happen, but by replacing it with curiosity. Next time you feel envy, try this instead of, why are they better than me? Ask, what can I learn from them? Instead of, I'll never get there. Try. I wonder what small step I can take today. You see, comparison closes the heart. Curiosity opens it. And when your heart is open, your mind can grow. So here's something to say the next time you feel small, my journey is not theirs. And that's okay. I am exactly where I need to be. Say it slowly. Let it land. Because your path is sacred, and you are not late, you are right on time. In the next part, we'll explore how to deal with fear when it shows up just before speaking, and how to calm your body and mind so your voice can come through. But for now, please remember, you don't need to be them. You only need to be you. And that's more than enough. Let's talk about the moment right before you speak. That tight feeling in your chest, the sudden heat in your face, the voice in your head saying, don't mess up, it's fear, and it's normal. But just because it's normal doesn't mean it gets to control you. You see, fear shows up not because you're weak, but because what you're about to do matters. Speaking is connection. Speaking is risk. Speaking is being seen. And that can feel terrifying. Let me tell you about Naomi. Naomi moved from Japan to Australia for university. She was smart, kind. She loved reading English, but hated speaking. Every time the teacher called on her, her heart would race, she'd sweat, sometimes she would freeze completely. I know the answer, she told me, but the words won't come out. We worked together on something simple, how to calm her body before her mind. Because when your body is tense, your brain believes there's danger. So we practiced. One deep breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, gently touching her thumb to each finger while saying, I am safe. Looking at one object in the room and describing it in English, these small actions helped ground her. They reminded her, this is not danger, this is learning. After a few weeks, Naomi still felt nervous, but she could speak through the fear. And one day, after giving a short answer in class, the teacher smiled and said, I'm glad you shared that. Naomi smiled too, because she had spoken not perfectly, but bravely. And that is what we celebrate here. So the next time you feel fear bubbling up before you speak, try this, pause, breathe. Feel your feet on the ground. Say to yourself, this is a moment. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be present. Let your voice come through shaky, strong, or somewhere in between, because that voice, it's real, and it's enough. In the next part, we'll explore how to respond to mistakes not with shame, but with curiosity and care. But for now, close your eyes for a second. Picture yourself in the future, speaking, smiling, connecting, that version of you. It starts here, with this breath, this try, this courage, and I believe in you. Let's talk about mistakes, the ones that make you cringe, the ones you replay in your mind again and again, the ones that make you want to give up. We've all made them, saying the wrong word, freezing mid-sentence, getting laughed at or worse, ignored. But what if I told you, your mistakes are not proof of failure. They're proof of effort. Let me tell you about Danilo. Danilo moved from Italy to the UK for a work opportunity. His grammar was strong, vocabulary solid, but when he spoke, sometimes his verbs got mixed up or his pronunciation slipped. One time, in a meeting, he accidentally said something that made everyone laugh. He smiled on the outside, but inside, he was crushed. Later, he told me, maybe I should just stop talking. I looked at him and said, Danilo, what you felt wasn't shame. It was vulnerability. And that's what makes communication real. You see, mistakes are not the end. They are the beginning of deeper learning. So we changed the goal. Instead of trying to speak without mistakes, we aim to speak through them. Each time Danilo slipped up, he smiled and said, let me try that again. No drama. No panic. Just presence. And slowly, something amazing happened. He stopped fearing his mistakes because he trusted himself to recover. That trust, it's what made him fluent. Not perfect, fluent. So how can you respond to your own mistakes with more care? Try this one. When you make a mistake, pause and breathe. Don't run from it. 2. Say to yourself, this is a sign I'm trying. 3. Gently repeat what you meant to say. That's where the magic happens, because the brain doesn't learn by doing it right every time. It learns by noticing the difference and trying again. And when you treat mistakes like friends, they stop scaring you, they start guiding you. In the final part, we'll bring everything together, your progress, your heart, your quiet courage, and help you feel proud of every imperfect step. But before we go there, think of a mistake you made recently. Now whisper thank you. You helped me grow, because it did. And so did you. You made it. Not just to the end of this video, but through a journey of softness, courage, and truth. And before we go any further, I want you to pause, take one deep breath, and know this: I am proud of you. Because progress isn't always loud, it's not always fast, it's not always clear, but it's real. And you've been making it moment by moment, word by word, choice by choice. Let's look back at what you've done. You showed up with fear, but stayed anyway. You learned to replace pressure with presence. You gave yourself permission to try. You built gentle habits. You spoke even when your voice shook. You forgave your mistakes. You trusted your timing. And maybe most importantly, you stayed kind to yourself through it all. That's not just learning English, that's learning life. Let me tell you one final story. Raquel was from Colombia. She joined one of my online workshops and barely said a word for the first few weeks. She listened. She wrote things down, but she never spoke. One day, I asked her privately if everything was okay. She said, "I'm just afraid I'll never catch up. I started late." I told her, "Raquel, we're not racing, we're walking. And you're walking beautifully." Something about that stayed with her, because in our final session, Raquel turned on her mic and said one sentence, just one: "I'm proud of myself." Everyone clapped, not because her grammar was perfect, not because she sounded like a native speaker, but because she finally saw what we all saw: her effort, her heart, her growth. And now, I say the same to you. I'm proud of you, and I hope you're proud of yourself. This journey doesn't end here. Every time you listen to a podcast, read a message, ask a question, or simply try, you're continuing the path. And when it gets hard, remember this: you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep moving with kindness, with courage, with trust. Thank you for walking this path with me. Thank you for letting Quick Fix English be part of your journey. And thank you for being you. You are enough, exactly as you are. Keep growing, keep speaking, keep believing. I'll be right here, cheering for you always.